Tell everyone Happy Halloween. Come on, say in the mic. Say Happy Halloween. Alright, say Happy Halloween. She's a little grumpy right now. Say Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, Happy Halloween.
DeadHatz.
Sorry everybody, I guess Moresca doesn't share my Halloween spirit. Hello everybody, Happy Halloween everybody. This will be out before Halloween or on Halloween. Quick heads up, my Halloween special will not be ready by Halloween this year, sorry. But you can check out last year's Halloween special in the meantime. But yeah, today's video we're going to be discussing another Lost Magic sort of deal. This is more about how over time YouTube videos in the horror genre have been pushed towards a certain direction, and because of this, a certain subgenre of YouTube horror has kind of died off in the process of that. As many of you may know, if you watched my evolution of YouTube horror videos, many early YouTube videos consisted of screamers and caught on ghost tapes. These videos would try and get as many clicks as possible, as that is what determined a video's popularity back in the day rather than watch time. However, there is another set of videos that I think is kind of a lost art when compared to the videos of today, as they don't really have a name for the genre, so for the duration of this video I'm going to refer to them as unexplained videos. These videos were simply posted onto YouTube with next to no information about them, and because of this it left a sort of creepy air around them, as because we knew so little about it, it allowed people to really get confused, and this confusion kind of leads into the horror of the unknown, and that's where a lot of the horror of these types of videos would sprout from. At times, confusion can cause one to be scared. This fear of the unknown and lack of information makes us nervous. As humans, the more we know about something, the more comfortable and safe we feel around it. It's why topics like the deep ocean and space can feel very scary, as there's only so much we know about those. That's the same reason why these videos would seem very creepy or off-putting. It's almost as if it felt like it was sinister in its presence, and the fact that we knew nothing about it or its origins is what made it so creepy. Some prime examples of this can be I Feel Fantastic, Soup.avi, Agamemnon Counterpart, and Obey the Walrus. Obey the Walrus being one that's actually still relatively unexplained to this day. Even just rewatching these videos when making this video kind of reminded me of the first time I saw them and really having no idea on what I was watching, giving an uncomfortable air around it. That's what made them so infamous in the first place. And yet, try to think of any videos like this today. Really try to think, when was the last time we had a video with the following quantities? Number 1, was uploaded to YouTube with little to no info. 2, it was uncanny or creepy. You know, it's something about it is off, and you're not able to tell if it was done like that purposefully or if it was just kind of giving off that kind of air. And then usually it's a one-off video and short and sweet with no follow-ups. Honestly, when I try and think of an example of this, I come up relatively blank. I think this age of horror is truly done for, at least as far as this little subgenre goes. But why did these videos die off? Is there just no one willing to make them anymore, or was there some other factors pushing for the end of this type of content? Let's have a look-see. Just a heads up before I begin this next section, I want to preface I have nothing against explanation or theorist kind of channels. I myself have made some explained videos. I just think they definitely played a big part in the pushing of the YouTube horror sphere towards this current meta that we see today. Some of the examples I listed prior have actually lost a lot of their charm for me after they all got subsequent videos explaining their origins, as it now felt all the mystery in them had been explained. Since the explanation videos have now removed the confusion from the videos, it became more familiar, and in this familiarity gone was the horror of the unknown. We now know that I Feel Fantastic was not a video made by a serial killer as some theorized, but the inventions of a man who wanted to make singing robots. We now know Agamemnon Counterpart was simply an art project and not a mysterious video made by some kind of cult. Interestingly enough, the videos that remained unexplained actually still retained a lot of the fear or uneasiness. When I watch I Feel Fantastic now, sure, I get a little uneasy, but nowhere near as much as I did when viewing it for the very first time. Compared to when I watched Obey the Walrus, since the origins of that were never found, it still manages to make me feel slightly uncomfortable upon viewing. However, this push for explanations of unexplained videos was caused by the viewers, let's not forget. While some would blame the content creator for the death of this small genre, let's not forget the large viewership they got was caused by us the people. And so, it isn't entirely on the shoulders of content creators. They're simply responding to what gets the most views, and a good way to do that is to research and explain these notorious videos, since they themselves had their own theories and small groups of people trying to figure out what it was about. This wave of explained videos also had other effects, as it not only killed the mystery of a lot of these once unexplained videos, but also made horror creators see that creating a mysterious video would create discussion regarding that video. See, if you made a one-off unexplained video that had some clues and showings of a larger picture, your video was more likely to get attention by those who wanted to explain or analyze these videos. This is not to be confused with ARGs or web series, as those had been making use of this for quite a while. I am simply referring to these one-off examples. These one-shots that were unexplained but definitely had mystery and creepiness by design. A perfect example of these type of videos was the Plague Mask video. It didn't really have a name when it came out, I believe, or at least not when I looked for it today. But I remember when this video came out, it took the horror community by storm. Because it left these little Easter eggs and drops around for people to look into and theorize and solve, everyone was, well, scrambling to solve it, but it didn't have that unexplained nature that a lot of these OG videos had. I mean, when you look at these older videos, there wasn't really a puzzle to be solved, it was just unexplainable, and because that was creepy. However, when you looked at this video, you could tell it was a puzzle made to be solved. There was no sense of uneasiness or confusion regarding the video, as you can tell it was made to gather attention. And I think while this video has gone years without really being addressed, I feel like it actually did have a lot more impact than some would realize. I really saw this video as kind of a turning point of horror creators going more into the cryptic storytelling. ARGs had already been doing this for years, but since this video in particular, it felt as though every horror web series or video creator wanted to make something that didn't show the full hand and was trying to bring out theories. Not to mention, in the same year as this video, the first Five Nights at Freddy's game came out, so this cryptic storytelling was now getting a massive boost in popularity in video games, and this video I feel did the same for YouTube videos. I think this video in particular made it absolutely huge in the YouTube horror sphere, excluding ARGs. Like I said, they've been doing this for years at that point already. By giving the videos a sense that the picture was bigger than it appeared, this would begin a self-feeding cycle between the horror creator and those that covered it. As of late, I feel YouTube horror feels very samey. That isn't necessarily a complaint, as we do have a lot of great horror media coming out recently. I just feel as though the process of how videos are covered or created is really starting to show a cyclic appearance, and I'll kind of explain that more here. The viewer watches the content creator covering horror as they find new topics and fresh videos to talk about in their explanations. These can be explanations of mysteries, lore, or themes inside of a horror video. And so, this would cause a lot of viewers to go to the original video and watch them, as they could like the topics they see and see if they can come up with their own theories and conclusions. The horror creator now has an incentive to make videos that can benefit these creators. By creating lore, cryptic puzzles, and symbolisms and themes in their videos, they give the content creator more to discuss, and depending on the uniqueness or execution of these themes, the explanation YouTuber has more to discuss when making a video covering it. And in turn, this creates more views for both the horror creator and the one covering it. The horror creator feeds the one explaining it, and the one explaining it gets to feed the creator back with more attention, creating a sort of Ouroboros. This has some good things as it pushes for more innovation for horror, as you need to stand out to be picked and covered, which also in turn keeps the newer content coming for those that cover it. Now they can even do follow-ups for the same series if it's continued after they had already made a video about it. And in turn, this also vastly increases the amount of content we as viewers get to ingest, which is a good thing. As both a viewer and creator, I can say this is great for the viewer, as they'll always have a flow of content coming to them, as this self-feeding machine does have some consequences, as it actively kills off certain subgenres on YouTube, and makes more independent work not made to be explained fall into obscurity. Well, this isn't always the case, as we do occasionally get a series that are their own thing by themselves. For example, Crypt TV is an independent short film company that makes videos that aren't meant to be explained but still get a very good amount of views. Another example would be that Ballerina short film that came out where she started breaking all her bones. These are the few rare examples of stuff that isn't really in this Ouroboros that can blow up, but they've become more few and far between ever since this cycle had started. However, the unexplained videos genre would end up dying off because of this current horror video meta. See, the more your video is geared towards being explained or analyzed by YouTubers and theorists, the more likely it's going to be picked up by viewers and creators and then thus, get more traction. But if your video is completely unexplainable, with no way to explain its origins or lore or mysteries in the video, then it is very much not going to be covered by a theorist or YouTuber, which in turn creates a video that doesn't do as well as those who are geared towards being discussed. Meaning that while this small genre that used to put so much fear in our hearts or makes us uneasy hasn't had a video made in it for years. When was the last time you found like a random video on YouTube you just couldn't explain and were so confused by it that you're almost too terrified to view it? One that even with massive amounts of research you'll never find an answer as to who made it and why, just an unexplained video with no ties to anything else other than its uploader and when it was uploaded. You can't find videos like that anymore, or at least I couldn't. If you can find one, please do send it to me. I really do miss this sort of subgenre. But because of this, it seems as though the art of unexplained YouTube videos is nothing more than lost magic. Can you remember any videos recently that are similar to Obey the Walrus? Or other videos that just simply existed in mystery? Or do you think I was correct that these videos have died off in the meantime, with no real way to come back? Do you think this was a good trade-off, these unexplained videos in exchange for all the horror content that we have today that's geared for those who want to learn and investigate series? Or do you think we should have traded less of those for more of the unexplained horror that we missed in the past? With almost everything being geared towards being researched and explained, this meta of horror really kind of eliminated the need for having unexplained horror videos. And I'm not exactly complaining about it, but I would be lying if I were to say that the absence of these videos don't make me a little bit sad. Happy Halloween to all of y'all, and because it's around the same time, Happy Dia de los Muertos. I'll catch you all in the next one.
Subscribe to DeadHatz or you'll die tomorrow.